4-week trial of Derek Chauvin. Police officer charged with killing George Floyd is underway in Minneapolis. This is what the defense has said so far.
The evidence will show that Mr. Floyd died of a cardiac arrhythmia that occurred as a result of hypertension, his coronary disease, the ingestion of methamphetamine and fentanyl, and the adrenaline flowing through his body, all of which acted to further compromise an already compromised heart.
Now, Amy Felitti is with AP. She's covering the trial in Minneapolis. Good morning.
Good morning.
So the trial is underway. How complex was jury selection?
Jury selection was quite complex for a case that was so high profile like this. Nearly everyone has seen that bystander video of Derek Chauvin pressing his knee against George Floyd's neck. So the attorneys and the judge had to, they questioned each juror individually to try to determine whether they had any preconceived opinions about the case going into it. And after just slightly over 2 weeks, they were able to get 15 people seated for the jury that said they could be unbiased and make an impartial decision based on the evidence of the trial. One of those jurors was dismissed today. We only need 14 to hear the case. So now there are 14 jurors who are seated for this trial, and 12 of them will ultimately deliberate, and there will be 2 alternates.
Do you have a sense of how complicated this trial is? Given we have a video, does the video begin and end with the video, or do we have something more than that?
That's a good question, and that's actually what the defense attorney was saying during his opening statements today, is that this case is much more than the video. It is quite complex, as you said. There were, when officers first arrived, they encountered Floyd. The defense is claiming that he was resisting arrest, that he ingested drugs, and there was a struggle before he ended up on the ground. And that video that has been seen around the world is just a portion of what happened when Floyd was actually on the ground. So the defense is going to argue many things led up to that incident, and that Derek Chauvin was using his training and responded appropriately. Another complex thing beyond the video is going to be Floyd's cause of death, and that's going to be huge as the attorneys for both sides try to prove prosecutors will try to prove that Derek Chauvin caused Floyd's death and that he died from that neck restraint, whereas the defense is going to use other medical evidence to say, no, he had ingested drugs, he was resisting arrest, he was struggling, and he died from other means. He had high blood pressure, adrenaline in his body, fentanyl and methamphetamine. And so they're arguing quite a different cause of death. So that's going to be really complicated as the trial proceeds.
We wish you well with it, Amy. Appreciate it very much. Amy Felitti of AP out of Minneapolis this morning.
Listen to Rugby Direct every week to get the lowdown on all you need to know from the rugby world. Rugby Direct has it all. All Blacks, Black Ferns, NPC and more. Listen to Rugby Direct, powered by News Talk ZB on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.